welcome you to a live. Hey, my sister, how are you?
Just wine, right? Yeah. we might need some more wine for this.
So, let's get this party started, y'all. Hey, my sister, mademoiselle.
That is the most amazing introduction I have ever heard.
Oh. Of myself and Madison, Brian Wesley Johnson. Thank you for joining us on Saturday morning. A life full of passion, purpose, and high quality living. See you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome to another edition of Soulivity Live, everyone. My name is Brian Wesley Johnson, and I am so glad you joined us because once again, you picked the perfect moment to get inspired. Wow, we have a fantastic show for you today. We are speaking with our own Soulivity Movement Coach, dancer, choreographer, wellness expert, Betsy Dopico. She is in the house. Now, today it's all about how you can learn new things each day, grow and expand yourself so you can manifest a fully creative and meaningful life. But before we begin, I want to tell you about our next exciting Truth and Power event. On Saturday, April 24th, with Beyond Words, we are holding a celebration in honor of Earth Day. We'll talk about how we can be even more connected to this amazing blue marble that's floating through space and how that connection creates better outcomes for everyone. Now, watch this space for announcements of our phenomenal panelists. Now, you can save the date by going to our YouTube channel, where you can also watch replays of all of our wonderful Soulivity shows. Now, so let's get to today's show, shall we? Betsy Dopico is a motivator, a presenter, a performer, and a Zumba International ambassador. Since the early age of 4, Betsy has studied and performed as a dancer in her hometown, Santa Clara, Cuba. She holds a degree in music and piano and has won many awards for her musical talent. She has also studied philosophy at the Universidad Centro de las Villas. Currently, she added life coaching and the practice of Reiki as a certified practitioner to her background. And she's using these new skills to create a new concept of movement, movement with intention. She is also known worldwide as a free-flowing spirit dedicated to everyone living their best life. She is featured in several Zumba Instructor Network volumes, commercials, live streams, and has performed at Zumba Fitness Concert for 10 years with artists like Pitbull, Wyclef Jean, Yandel, Prince Royal, and other well-known artists. She is my friend, she is my colleague, and it is my pleasure to welcome Betsy Dopico to Soulivity Live. Hey, my sister.
What a welcoming, Brian. You made me cry.
Hey, we have to do it up right for our own now.
I was actually thinking to say something like that, like when sometimes we don't take enough time to realize everything we have done, and that's amazing to do it. Everyone, each of you, we have to write our own story and say wow and celebrate ourselves, our path, because wow, yeah, I'm just 42 years old, and when you were telling me all the things, and I said, wow, you were making me remind my own story. Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Absolutely. I cannot believe that it's taken us so long to do this. I mean, you started working and collaborating with Soulivity almost a year ago now. I mean, we started with some Zumba classes, and when we started Move Your Soul on Wednesdays, a little bit later in the morning. But it's been wonderful. And everybody, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things that Betsy's doing on the platform. And this is an interactive conversation, by the way, everybody. So I know
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of fans out there. I want to see all the fans of Betsy throwing some comments up on our chat. But listen, if you have a comment, you have a question for Betsy, please post to our social media, and we're going to get to as many questions as we can over the next hour. Okay. Um, Betsy, my first question is around your, I know, right? Your hometown and growing up.
Okay.
Um, you grew up in Cuba, in Santa Clara, Cuba. I think a lot of times people think of specifically Cuba as this mysterious and unknown place, though it's, less than 100 miles or whatever it is off the coast of Miami. Tell us more about, like, what was life for you growing up there?
Well, at first, I was born in a small town because Santa Clara is the capital of Villa Clara. Villa Clara is the state, and Santa Clara is the capital. And I was born in Manicaragua. Manicaragua is a small town like this because my parents, they are doctors. They were serving there the first year of practicing medicine, and I was born there. But it was a really small town. Literally, the town with the four corners, the church, the school, the hospital, like something like that. And that was amazing experience because I am a Guajira. Guajira in Cuban means country girl. I am from the mountains. I am from the little town. I have the accent from the little towns, right? So I am a Guajira in Cuba, and that's amazing because when you grow up your first years in a place like that, you are more grounded the rest of your life because you don't have so much. You have less, but you enjoy everything. I was able to go every day to the street, and I had mountains on the weekends, and I have rivers, and I have my friends, the same friends because it was just like three streets. So the same friends every day, and that was amazing because that made me feel so like homey, like this is, and I appreciate that a lot. And I started studying piano from my 6 years old, and also dancing. I start from really early age. From in Nicaragua, I start dancing and I start playing piano. And then this little girl with the big eye, because I have big green eyes and I was so skinny, always had a lot of dreams. Like it. Since I remember myself, I was dreaming. I was dreaming and dreaming. I always had dreams, big dreams. And when I started dancing and playing piano, my world was expanding immediately. Like,
Wow.
okay, I want to grow
Wow.
dancing. I don't want to dance just here in
Hmm.
this place. I want to dance there and there. So I started looking for more, right? And I had the determination. I remember I went to I had I had a competition of reading and writing when I was 6 years. And I remember I told to my mom, I'm gonna win that competition. And my mom said, okay, so you have to study by yourself because I'm working. And I say, okay, 6 years old, and I won the competition. So I had that that power inside of me. Like I put my eye in something, I went for it. And I knew it needs a lot of compromise and commitment. So I always grow up with that. But because I think I am a Guajira, someone from a little town with big dreams. And I went then to Santa Clara, and in Santa Clara, I was studying in an art school piano. I studied,
Oh.
yeah, I was in an art school. That's another big experience because when you are part of a specialties um, a school with a
Hmm.
special gift and talents,
Hmm.
everyone there has the same kind of vibe of you, right? Everybody is creating. So I grew up in a school where creation was uh, our main thing every day. We had classes every day. We were talking about every day, art every day. I went to opera, I went to ballet, I went to concerts since I was 7 years old, like.
Wow. So this creative spirit that you have was in you from way back,
Yes.
but you
Yes.
had experiences that just matched that love that was already inside of you, and that you
Yes.
were able to explore all different dimensions of it.
Yes, and actually, I never put apart music and dance, because I remember I was at in the art school. I was studying piano because Cuba schools are very strict, and I have the morning for my regular classes, the afternoon for piano, and then I was going to my house, and at night around 7:30 I went to dance
Wow.
until 10 o'clock, and then going to sleep and repeat. Yeah.
You weren't playing.
Yeah, you know what? People sometimes asking me like, hey, why you have a lot of energy? Since I have memory, I've been doing a lot in a day. Like for me, the day is so precious, Brian. It's like every really minute,
Yeah.
every single minute counts. Like for me, because I was a busy girl from
Hmm.
since I was a little girl. So for me, actually, every single minute has a purpose, has an activity to do. Because if I don't use that minute, then I can go forward. Like for me, always the time was precious,
Yeah.
precious, precious.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the people who know you know that you are, and in fact, you inspire me to do this more often. And that is, you live in the moment. Whatever that moment is, may it be joy, may it be sadness, may it be bliss, may it be peace,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you just let it be and you live in that moment.
Yeah, we have to allow yourself to embrace whatever we are.
Mm.
If we feel sadness, it's okay. That's part of life. If we feel pain, it's okay. It's part of life. If we feel joy, we have to celebrate joy. If we are in a moment that we need hope, we need to feel hope. Like, it's part of being human. I think the opportunity we have in this life every day is discovering how to be a human being. We are souls. We all know that. At this time of the history, world history, we know we are souls. We are here and we are more than just this, and we know that
Right.
because there are a lot of facts, a lot of scientific proof. And if they don't believe it anyway, it exists by itself. We know we are soul, but the experience of being human and being living this life right now
Yeah.
is a gift.
Right.
And it's a gift we receive to co-create. It's a gift we receive to serve and to share with other people. I
Right.
always say this phrase, and in English maybe it doesn't sound the same for me because my Spanish is my first language, but I'm going to try to tell it to say the same way. Is that we came into this world to share our life.
Mm.
And I love that phrase because it means it simplified my purpose. I
Right.
think I was actually watching the other day the movie Soul from Disney.
It is
And
so good. Everybody, if you have not
yes,
seen Pixar's latest animation, it's called Soul.
so it's beautiful. And
Go
yeah.
watch it. It is so, I mean, it again, it's everything that you're talking about, Betsy, in
And
terms of
actually,
learning to live in the moment, learning to be in gratitude for where you are in your life, in your process, and that the universe can support you in maybe a different direction that you haven't thought about. Because
yes.
one of the things I was taught, I'm sure you've heard of this too, like if you're asking for something from the universe, you always add this greater or better
Hmm.
to it, because you're in this, you're a spiritual being living a human experience, and you may not be fully aware
Yes,
of all the possibilities that exist for happiness and prosperity for yourself.
that's true. And you know that something I like I agree with the movie is that the purpose of life is actually living. We are always talking about my purpose is to get a job or no, no, no. Our purpose in life is living, breathing, flowing, meeting people, eating, appreciating. That's the purpose of life.
Yes.
Now, all of us, we came into the world with different gifts, with different talents. That's the flame, right? We have inside. And that's what we're going to compromise to the world.
Mm.
You know, we're going to give that to the world. In that way, we are going to express our living experience. But our purpose is actually living. When we forget that, we forget the essentials. That's why the
Yes.
other day I was telling my friends, like, hey guys, did you breathe today? Did you actually feel the oxygen coming to your body? Did you drink water today? Hydrate yourself. Water is free. Air is free. Emotions are free.
Yeah.
Even food is free, because if you go to a garden, you can eat an apple or whatever, and we have to buy, of course, because we live in communities. But what I mean is the nature, Mother Nature gives us food. So we have to actually realize that those things are actually what we need.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is actually sharing and making this experience better for everyone. But we have to come back every day to the essential. When we go into that essential, we understand how abundant we are, because we
Exactly.
connect with abundance.
I love this. I love it. And it's Betsy, it's not, I mean, living our lives is full of this variety, right? Where it can be challenging, it can be painful. Again, we talked about being joyful and that kind of and all these kind of things. But at the end of the day, it's living in the moment that moves you forward, and having the understanding that change isn't about you projecting this ideal of yourself over here, right? And again, we're going to be talking about a little bit more about this, everyone. It's more about being aware of who you are
Yes.
and diving deep into that, because anything else is kind of a distraction. Speaking of diving into yourself, where did this all begin for you? I'm always curious to find out, like, you know, what was your aha moment where you're like, hmm.
Wow.
So this is kind of like how the universe kind of works.
Yeah. Actually, I remember, Brian, I was 13, maybe years old. And I watched a movie, and the message from the movie was, when your dreams are so intense that are not impossible for you. And that phrase I write down in Spanish. I wrote it down in Spanish. Cuando los sueños son imposibles, son tan grandes, los imposibles no son tan imposibles. And I put it on my mirror. I was 13 years old. And I was a very faithful person since then. I went to church. I played the piano at the church. I had the chorus. I was the director of the chorus. But we were able to sing for Juan Pablo II, John Paul, the Pope. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we sang for
See,
him when he came to
everybody, I'm learning
Cuba.
as you're learning. I did not know that.
Okay, in 1999, 1998, I don't remember exactly the year, he went to Cuba, and we were part of the coro when he went to Santa Clara, my city. Yeah. So yes, I actually I got that message from that movie, and I wrote down that phrase, and from then it been forward and back, of course, because sometimes we get lost on the circumstance, right? And we just get apart a little bit of this connection. It's not that we miss the connection. We are always connected.
Right.
That's we our body, our mind, our soul are always in the same, but sometimes they are not going the same frequency. So we need to readjust and make those atoning. But I think from since 13 years old I start feeling that. Like it's actually, yes. Then I got lost a little bit when I moved to Mexico. I left my country. It was very painful. I left everything behind. I left my friends. I left my family, my mom, my grandmother. My grandmother was someone very special for me. She was that person that my mom was a doctor, so she was working a lot, and my grandmother, she brought me to my piano classes, to my dance classes. She was always with me, but at the same time, she was my first fan, my biggest fan. She always was like, she's my nieta, she's my nieta, like that's my granddaughter. And she always felt so proud of me. And she made me feel that, like that type of fun vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I left my grandmother and I never see her again
Oh,
because she
wow.
died a year after when I left Cuba. The next year she passed away, and it was so painful for me because I couldn't go to
Right.
see her. I was in a moment in the immigration process that I couldn't go to Cuba,
Right.
and that was painful because she was my second mother. And in Mexico, so I think I got a little bit lost at trying to adapt to a new social society, and new concepts, new actually accents. It was the same language but different accents, different meanings for the
Right.
word. For me, the first time I went to a supermarket, that maybe could sound, you will listen this and you will say like, oh my God, that's so simple. For me, going for the first time to a supermarket was like, what? There are 10 brands of meat and 11 brands of milk? No way. Like I
Wow.
was in shock. I learned how to buy my groceries with time, because at the beginning I didn't know even how many pounds and what I didn't have idea of that simple thing.
Wow. So part of this whole process, and I want to ask you too about, like, again, because this is about learning, growing, expanding, and then manifesting. First of all, you got married at this time. Is that what brought you to Mexico, right?
Yes, my ex-husband, he was Cuban too. He is Cuban. He's the father of my two kids, and he was a tennis player. And he migrated to Mexico, and then I went with him to Mexico. That's why I was in Mexico. Yes.
And so it was that painful where it's like, well, this is my family now, this is my husband, and I've got to leave my
And
family
I was
behind.
alone. I
Yeah, and I
was.
mean, again, everybody, I want to make sure we're like connecting some of the dots, because I think a lot of times people think about people who are immigrating from one country to another. A lot of times it's about something bad happening, right? And it's not always the case. I mean, this was love at this
No.
time. It was love,
Yes.
and you're going to spend the rest of your life, as far as you knew at that time, with this person. They following a dream, you're going to help them follow the dream, and you're going to go to Mexico. So you're
Yes.
in Mexico, and now you have to kind of readjust to all this new life, even though some people think, oh, well, you know, you're, Latino or Hispanic, they're
And I
the
was
same. Well,
20.
what's it's like, no, it's a whole new growing process.
In every single aspect, I was just 20. And I
Oh,
am the
wow,
only
you're
child. Yes, I am the only child. Like I don't have brothers and sisters. I have very amazing cousins. I grew up with them like brothers and sisters, but like in my family, I am the only child. And I was alone there. Like I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. I didn't have anyone. And my ex-husband, he was older than me, and also his friends were different age of me. And it was so much. I was studying at the university, and then I was the girl of my house, the princess of my house, and I went to a place and I had to be the the wife, and I had to be the responsible of working. And I came from a country that we didn't grow thinking that work is to get money, because in Cuba we all work the same.
Right. Right.
And it doesn't mean that you're going to have more or less. We actually work for passion, and we work for recognition or positions, or because we don't have that measure of money and working. Actually, that was something I have to grow about. That it was my relationship with money, because I saw money as something bad. Like money doesn't let me choose. Money doesn't let me be in a big house. It doesn't let me be, like many like lacks I had, and I have to change that. That was a very, very tough growing process, because every time I felt, the universe translate that and lost in something material, and I have to restart again. And I say, okay, I have to learn something happening here. What happened is because I always saw money like, oh, I have to pay, oh, I have to send, oh, I saw the money that way for a long time in my life. And it was very, very like learning from the universe, because I really need to change that. And I went to Mexico, and I was alone, and I had to start working. I remember, and that's why I became in Zumba, but that is not just, my mom was in Cuba, my grandma died, my mom was alone in Cuba, my father was in Chile, because when you go out of Cuba, you have to go to any place you can go out. It's not like I picked this country. No, you go the place you can go. So my father was in Chile, and I wasn't able to see him because his passport was Cuban and he couldn't get visa to Mexico. So my father was in Chile, I was in Mexico, my mom was in Cuba, my grandma passed away. So we couldn't see each other for a long time. Then my grandfather, in my father's side, he was Spanish. So my father got his citizenship from Spain. So he was able to travel without a visa to Mexico. So he came, and he came with me, and we could be together again. But my mom is still in Cuba.
Oh,
And
wow.
then,
Okay.
yes, I got pregnant from my first baby, Pablo, my baby, 18 years old. Okay.
I'm still, I look at him and I'm like, I mean, it's like you could get away with calling him your brother.
Yeah. Actually, people told me,
I mean,
hey,
he's tall, and look,
he's
America's next top model. I mean, dude is
he's so handsome. And my daughter, wow.
oh, knockout.
Yeah. So my son was born, and then my mom was in Cuba, so I didn't have help for that. I was a section, and I had to live with that by myself. I remember studying in the magazine how to do the bath to my baby, whatever, all the things, challenge. And then my mom was able to go to Mexico. We reunite again. And then I lost a baby. I lost a pregnancy between Pablo and Camila. It was really tough. But that was the point that made me find Zumba, because I was looking for something. I stopped dancing for a couple of years in Mexico. I was just playing piano and teaching piano. And then I said, okay, I miss dancing. And when I saw Beto on the TV, I said, hey, wait a minute. I was doing that all my life. I need to come back to this. And I went to Mexico. I remember I never, that's something I have to appreciate from myself, is that I take the opportunities. Like I see an opportunity and I go forward. I am not thinking if I'm gonna fail. I never think I'm going to fail. If I fail, I learn, but I'm not afraid to fail. Like I saw that commercial, I went to internet, I registered, I signed up, I went, I took the certification.
Wow.
That's it. It was in 2 months, that big change.
And again, Betsy and everybody, Betsy's story is so important because Betsy, you again, the seed you had the seed inside of you
Yeah.
that wanted to express itself creatively. It's where your passion was. It was your purpose in terms of serving everyone else. It was going to be that vehicle so you could live and have a great life. Um, and you still had to go through all these different levels of learning about yourself,
Yes.
being aware of what was going on with you,
Yes.
getting growth and expanding
But everything
beyond
is,
what your norm was,
I think
right?
that's why life has challenge, because it's the only way you can realize who you are. No.
Exactly.
It's the only way. If I have everything, I'm never going to have need to effort myself to find out who I am. So that's the
Exactly.
way. The responsibility we have is actually learn. If you don't learn, you will go through that again and again and again. So our responsibility actually is, okay, this is happening, why it's happening, and learning. And I want to tell you something. My connection with this book was from since that time. When I lost my baby, I started reading that book, and then Camila
Wow.
came. Yeah. So I had Camila, and Camila has a special connection with me. Pablo and Camila, they are two different kids, but both have something special. With
Wow.
Pablo, we have like a soulmate thing, but Camila, she was my partner in crime all the time. She was in my belly dancing Zumba, going through the process. She crossed the border with me because I came to USA through the border, because the Cuban law, all law, that the adjustment law, and she was in my belly. She was traveling with me, like she was my partner in crime for everything.
Wow.
So I think she knows me very well, because she was doing many things with me when I was pregnant of her. And
Wow.
that's so beautiful, because that's the extension of us.
Exactly.
So that's the extension. My son, he's more centered, more, and Camila is more excited for everything, And so they both have two part of me. And that's so beautiful when you have kids, because you see your extension and
Right.
those beautiful creature, like they going to continue your legacy, right? In some way, in their own way, the way they pick for themselves, but it's a part of you. It's your experience where part of they growing to, and you
Exactly.
grow with them too.
Exactly. And I think that's important, right? As parents, um, we think of this as just, hey, telling kids what to do and doing the normal parenting, but a normal part of this is also that both of you, or you and your children, are growing together. You're growing
Yes.
into a life and growing into this, and you're changing, and then you're growing and you're expanding and you're
And we
adapting
cry and we laugh and we
and laugh,
feel.
and all that's through joys and laughter and fun and everything else in between. Listen, we're going to take a short pause, but we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to move into how all this kind of relates to the manifestation process.
Yes.
You're actually going to take us through, as part of this next segment, you're going to take us through a manifestation practice
Yes.
using water,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
everybody, you got to go get
Your glass of
a
water,
glass of
please.
water. And in the next segment, we're going to show you how you can use just drinking a glass of water as part of your daily practice that will
Yes.
help you manifest the life that you want. So
Exactly.
you are actually, you have a daily, before we get to this one example, you have, we went over this, when we did the Move the Show, Move Your Soul show this week. You actually were talking, we always talk everybody before we do shows and after shows, we're like,
That's the best part.
exactly. You guys miss all that stuff. But we were talking about what you do as a daily practice that's part of manifestation, right?
Yes.
It's still part of learning, growing, expanding, and that kind of thing. But you do a specific practice every single day. Can you kind of walk us through what your daily routine, like when you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep, what your
Yes,
practice
yes.
is?
Of course. Actually, I think, I really believe that habits are really important in our life. We need to go with the flow. Of course, that's amazing. We need to go with the flow. We need to don't be too attached to some mentality or belief. We have to always be open to change the way and the path because it's part of life. But how to keep centered, how to keep aligning with the universe, with our desires, with ourselves, needs daily practice. Because if you don't take that time for yourself, you are always going to be lost on the in the noise out there, right? Because there are a lot of noise. There are social media, there are your work, there are your house, your kids, your family, your friends. Everyone has demanding from you. It's demanding from you. So you need to have, you need to create, not have, create habit for yourself. And in this fast life we are going, everybody, because nobody get out of that. We need to create simple and effective habits.
Right.
Like, because sometimes people say, I don't have an hour to meditate. You don't need an hour to meditate. You can use 5-10 minutes to meditate. But if you don't do that, then you will be in a really tough moment that you will need no one 2 hours every day to
Right.
get out of that situation, right? Because people doesn't understand that our body is our temple, and is when you get sick, then it's when you take care of your stomach, or you take care of your knee, or you take care of your belly, or of your kidneys, or whatever. It's when you get sick. Always we are waiting to get sick to take care of something. And it's because we don't have the habits of taking care every day. That's my point. That's something I learned in the bad way, and I am trying to change it. So as a co-creator, because we are co-creators, we are co-creating the same work at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I decide to share that with the people because it worked for me. I want to share with you. Maybe not the same way going to resonate for you, but you can at least, okay, that maybe can work, and you can create your own habit, your own way, right? But there are many, 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 and I love, that's why it's amazing educating yourself, learning, like dedicating time to read, dedicating time to actually search, going to Google. Google is not just to find yellow pages, it's also to get a lot of good stuff.
Right.
Actually, I found books. I go for something and then I found a book, and oh wow, I never find what maybe I never were able to find this book if I don't go to search something else. So that's part of everything I do. But my daily habits, basically the first things I do in the morning, and I learned from a mentor, Vic. He told me how to breathe. Breathing is the first, because when you are like this and you go to sleep with all the information in your head, you are not able to actually live the moment because your head is leading you.
Right.
And it's not your mind. You have to lead your mind from your soul, and then your mind going to command to the universe, but you have to be aligned with that. So breathing. And for example, I have an exercise I do every day in the morning. I will do it with you later, but then I do that exercise, or I just sit down, I empty my mind, and I just absorb from the universe. And I have a specific breathing box, and I will share with you, because it's like a cycle that you receive, you absorb, you radiate, and you thank.
Oh, guys, please go through this.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Just one, yeah, just a little, because we did this, everybody, every Tuesday. Betsy has an open group, and we're going to give you more information about that in a second. But this was part of it, and you began the group with this. So can you share that real quick?
Yes, actually, I'm going to record it and I'm going to post it on my portal, my Phoenix portal, so people can learn before to do my exercise or whatever. This breathing box is inhaling. Every single breathing box is 4 sides, right? Inhale, hold your breath, exhale, and hold your breath. That's how a breathing box works. But the intention we put in that breathing box is what matters to transform. So the way I do is when we inhale, actually I use my hands to receive. I open my hands. I say, okay, I'm inhaling. When I inhale air, oxygen, I am receiving life. I am receiving blessings, health, abundance, love, prosperity. Just look around and see a tree. See how nature works in perfectly harmony. So inhale that in 3 or 4 counts. Then you hold your breath and you put your hands in your chest to feel how you absorb it. Your cells absorb all you receive. And then to share and radiate, to be able to expand, because when we receive, we have to share to make it grow. If not, at some point, it's unbalanced for you and for the rest. And then you come back to hold your breath and you say, thank you for this cycle. So let's do it one time. Do it with me, Brian.
Okay.
Inhale. You receive. Now, absorb, holding your breath. Exhale, radiating to the world. And feel grateful for everything you have. So you can repeat this as many times as you need during the day. Actually, I recommend this. I was doing a workshop the other day for TV hosts, and they say, wow, that's amazing, because sometimes when you are going to do a live show or you are going to perform, especially, I know because I've been a performer all my life, you are so excited and sometimes you don't get the focus you need.
Right.
You just take 2 minutes to do this and you will be back to your center, and then everything going to be, oh my God, this is so easy. You will see how everything start flowing around you, because it's be in balance, in control, right? In your center. And that's something I do every day in the morning. And I also do exercise every morning. And I do on Wednesday with you and on Soulivity TV. I do an energy flow. It's just moving your body, because we are energy. When we move our feet, we are grounding our ideas. When we move our hips, we are connecting with our emotions. When we move our abs, our core, we are creating power of will, confidence, right? When we do movement with our arms and our chest, we are connecting with love, unconditional love, compassion. When we sing, hey, oh, or whatever, 1, 2, 3, yes, you are actually connecting with expression, freedom, right? And then all these techniques of manifesting are to create vision, okay, intuition, and also the idea of unity, of wholeness, that we are part of something bigger and we have a little piece in the big movie, right? Yeah. We have a little piece, and we have to be very, but at the same time, we have to understand that that big movie is working for you. So you collaborate.
Love it.
And then you receive all for you.
Wow.
How amazing is God, right?
You know, that's a part that I think the receiving is a part that for me, and I think for a lot of people, is actually the most difficult part. Giving is, you know, we're taught, everybody's kind of taught.
But you know why,
giving.
Brian? Because ego. Because
yes.
when you give, you feel the feedback of people. You feel that recognition, right? And receiving is for you. So It's like
Yep.
a uh,
Like, and then it gets into all the worthiness
nobody see
things.
that. Nobody see that. You receiving, oh, maybe she's taking so much. You know, yeah,
Right.
it's tricky.
Exactly.
And we have to understand that both are important. I had to learn that. To
Yeah, and I mean it's the balance, right? So
I
with
learned
the time we got left, let's do this
manifesting.
water
Yeah,
exercise.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Everybody,
Let's do it.
okay, everybody, did you get your glass of water? You're gonna
Glass
need
of
a glass of
water.
water.
You know water. You know what I use water? Because water is medicine. Water is medicine. Water is at the first is one of the elements, the more important elements in this in the creation, right? And also water has specifically formations, crystals that are associated with our emotions. Maestro Emoto, he did a proof, a lab test, and he could demonstrate that the water takes the emotions
Hmm.
and vibrations and the energy that is surrounded the glass of water, the lake, or any amount of water that is it takes our emotions. So that's why if we use water, we're going to amplify whatever we are feeling. If we are feeling sad, it's going to amplify sadness. But if we are feeling sad, we can just realize happiness and think in something that make us feel happy, and then immediately you would change
Right.
that vibration in yourself and around you, because we have to be careful, because it's very clear that we receive what we give.
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
you can be in a very very dark situation surrounded of the darkest people, but if you continue radiating light, at
Hmm.
some point you are going to touch everyone there in some
Wow.
point. So same is with the water. Water is it amplify our effect. So you are going to close your eyes, guys, today, and we're going to use the water to manifest. Manifestation is so easy. It's just allowing yourself to think something you really want from your heart. Do not try to structure too much. Just connect with your heart right now and imagine something you really want for yourself. Just keep in mind that everything you're going to manifest to the universe has to be for you and everyone good. Like it's for the good of you and all. It has to be that way because we are all one. We are one. And as one, we have to think about that. But now just focusing something you really want. It could be the solution for a situation. It could be health. It could be um, a job. It could be a place you want to go. Whatever you want, a goal you want to achieve, just connect with that and allow yourself to think about that like a movie, with colors, with sounds. And also you can add others sensations and feel it. Allow yourself to connect with that dream, with that beautiful thought. And now you are going to actually connect with the emotions of love, peace, joy. They are the base of the breath. Joy, peace, love. And you will repeat with me really loud, because we are going to repeat it in the different levels of our conscience and mind. Really loud, repeat. This is my new reality. This is my new
Reality.
reality. Scream to the universe. This is my
This is
new
my new
reality.
reality.
Yes. Now we are going to repeat a little bit lower, because you are going to tell to you, this is my new reality. Tell to yourself, this is my new reality. 3 times. This is my new reality. Now you are going to repeat it in a whisper. So you are telling to your cells, to your body, hey, this is my new reality. This is my new reality. This is my new reality. And last time, you are going to just repeat in silence to your soul. And now, you are going to open your eyes slowly. And we are going to use a symbol, the Y letter. It looks like a person with the hands open to receive. And it has a special vibration. So you can draw a couple of Y in your glass of water. Smile, because smiling is the beginning of everything. You have to smile to make things happen. You have to connect with happiness. And drink this water because it's magic. It's actually fun to do that.
I love that.
You know,
When
it's
you
like
did that on the show, I was like, "Where's my glass of water?"
you know,
No. Did you
I
guys
read
enjoy that?
I read in this book the metaphor of Aladdin, and it was one of my favorite movies forever. The genius said, "You have 3 wishes," right? And imagine the genius if the universe, like, you have all wishes, not 3.
Right.
You all you want. So you just ask for it and believe, and no belief, have the certainty that it's gonna happen. But we need to clear our mind, and to clear our mind we need to create habits, and those habits has to be breathing. It has to be dedicating time to meditate. You can find many meditations. You can go to my Phoenix portal. I have a couple of there. You can join us on Wednesday in the morning if you don't have time. You have to do exercise. Movement is one of the most powerful tools we have to connect, to create energy, to live in the moment, because when you are moving, you actually have to coordinate a lot of things. So you don't have time to think in something else. You have to think in how to coordinate my leg with my arm. So this is amazing. And also it's amazing for your longevity, to create healthy life, not just to look good. It's not about vanity. It's about feeling good, being good. And also I recommend every day, try to learn something, at one thing every day. Try to learn something, because we are eternal students. We are learning every day, and as much as we learn, as much we have to give, to radiate, to create, because you never know what idea that you learn, or what phrase you listen, or what his story from someone else. Listen, because to communicate we also need to listen, and that story or that phrase or that little thing you learned can make you create something amazing for you and for the world. And that's the way to co-create, because we are all in a circle. It's a big circle, and we have to stay together, and we have to help each other. But the first person we have to help is ourselves. If we were, and I know by experience, I have kids, I have teenagers, and I have a lot of challenge every day, like a really tough challenge, as many parents. And at the beginning, we try to control everything.
Yeah.
But they need to live their past. They need to have those up and down to understand who they are.
Yeah.
And the best way we have to accompany them is taking care of ourselves, but not in a selfish way. It's a way that understanding that this body has actually, it's not the body has the soul. No, my soul has a body.
Yeah.
And that body is your temple. And you have to take care of that. And for that, you can't just do exercise. You have to take care of your body, but you also need to take care of your mind and your spirituality. And if we do that every day, like I wake up and actually I don't use makeup, but I love when I take care of my skin. 5 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
I do my exercise, my things, my cleaning thing, and then I go out and I feel so good. If I feel good, I will treat people good.
It's funny how that all works. You know, it's
connected.
It's all connected.
And if we are thinking too much, Brian, if we are thinking too much ahead, we are not able to know what to do in the moment.
Exactly. Betsy, we got to do this again.
Yeah, anytime.
We got to do this again. I've had so much fun. I hope everybody enjoyed all of this information. I mean, again, Betsy, you're doing this, you're on the platform, you're helping people mind, body, and spirit through a whole bunch of different things that are available to everybody. I mean, you can go check it out on Betsy's Phoenix portal at aspire.soulivity.com.
Let me say something really fast. Thank you, Brian.
Oh,
thank you, and thank you all the team from Soulivity and Aspire, because you are a very important piece in my co-creation. Okay, I can't expand without you. And God bless you and multiply blessings in your life. Everything you support me every day, and also motivated me and inspired me to continue. So I don't want to close this segment without to say thank you. And I feel so glad to work with people like you.
Thank you. You are not going to get me crying on here. No, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And everybody, I mean, with Betsy, with everybody, this is a collaboration, and we're giving and receiving to each other so that we can give you the information that you need to be your best self anywhere on the planet. So Betsy, thank you for being here. Got a couple of quick notes before we get out of here. Want you to go follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we are on Twitter. Follow us, you'll get updates about everything that we're doing. You can actually go check out our Go Shop as well. It's our new e-commerce site at go.soulivity.com. Products that will help you live a more inspired life. Again, I want to thank my guest, Betsy Dopico, for being with me today. Awesome experience. We're going to have her back, of course, to share some more about what she's doing in terms of moving with intention, so we can manifest the life that you want. Well, we are out of time, but on behalf of myself and Betsy Dopico, I want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, everybody here at Soulivity is wishing you a life full of passion, purpose, and high quality living. See you later, guys. See you soon. My name is Brian Wesley Johnson, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Soulivity Live.
Hey, my sister, how are you?
This lens, right? Yeah. we might need some more wine for this.
So let's get this party started, y'all.
Hey, my sister, mademoiselle.
That is the most amazing introduction I have ever heard.
Oh. Of myself and Madison, Brian Wesley Johnson, thank you for joining us on Saturday morning. A life full of passion, purpose, and high quality living. See you next time.